Friends, here's something worth sitting with. You get the exact same 24 hours as a scientist, a billionaire, or an Olympic athlete. The real difference is that these people have learned to operate their minds on a different setting. Ever wonder how some people power through the day without ever running dry, while the rest of us feel drained the moment our eyes open? Some days it genuinely feels like our own mind is working against us. There are mornings when the only thing you want is to pull the blanket back over your head. The tasks keep piling up, but your energy tank reads empty. You sit down determined to concentrate, and suddenly every distraction shows up uninvited. Buzzing notifications, the pull of your feed, a mind that flips channels every few minutes. Now picture a completely different kind of day. You wake up feeling light and clear-headed. Your mind moves with sharp precision. Every task gets done ahead of schedule, with zero pressure weighing on you. And when night falls, instead of collapsing from exhaustion, you feel something better. Satisfaction, the quiet pride of knowing you ran your mind today instead of your mind running you. This isn't wishful thinking. It's backed by science. Neuroscience has already uncovered how the brain makes choices, how it falls into distraction, and how we can rewire it for serious productivity. The trick isn't fighting your brain, it's learning to work with its rules. Imagine discovering the hidden control panel inside your own head. Buttons that dial down stress, switch on drive, and erase laziness on command. What would your days look like then? That's exactly where this journey starts, with 8 brain-based principles that can completely transform how productive you become. These principles are already inside you, just waiting to be activated. Fair warning though, once you understand them, going back to your old way of working won't feel possible anymore. So, ready to unlock what your mind is truly capable of? Rule 1, at the sleep, your brain's restart button. Remember a morning when you woke up naturally, no alarm needed? Your eyes just opened, and instantly something inside you whispered, "This feels different." A clear head, a settled mind, energy radiating outward. It felt like your brain had been rebuilt overnight. But how often does that actually happen? Maybe once a week, maybe not even that. We tend to treat sleep like an optional extra. I'll sleep once I'm done, and burn through our nights glued to a screen. Then morning arrives with the same familiar weight, heavy eyelids, a foggy brain, a day that starts off half broken. But here's the truth. Sleep isn't downtime. It's your brain's cleanup crew. While you're asleep, your brain gets to work behind the scenes, flushing out mental clutter, dissolving built-up tension, and clearing the haze from your thoughts. It files away memories properly, rebalances your emotions, and sharpens your thinking. Notice how after a solid night's sleep, even small decisions feel effortless. Your gut instinct gets sharper, irritation fades, concentration holds steady, and your drive to get things done feels natural, not forced. Now picture waking up like that every single morning, clear, energized, unstoppable. How much would that change everything? Your speed, your clarity, your creative spark. But here's the catch. We've turned even sleep into a multitasking activity. Even as we try to drift off, the mind stays switched on, a show playing in the background, a feed still scrolling. Instead of powering down, the brain just keeps heating up. And that's when a quiet tug-of-war starts between your brain and your habits. Here's the truth worth remembering. Productivity starts at your bedside the moment you tell your brain, "Rest now, tomorrow you take off." Build that habit and you're not just managing your schedule, you're learning where your energy truly belongs. Making sleep a priority is a way of honoring your brain because a well-rested mind, it is capable of extraordinary things. So the next time you're tempted to scroll late into the night, ask yourself this: is this bit of stolen sleep going to rob tomorrow of its potential? The choice is entirely yours. Put your brain to rest or burn it out. Rule 2, movement. Wake up your mind through your body. Some days your brain feels wrapped in fog. Thoughts crawl by in slow motion. You try to focus and your attention slips away. You try to read, but the words refuse to sink in. You talk to someone and your responses feel robotic, like something heavy is weighing you down. No spark, no clarity, just a strange, dragging heaviness. What's our usual response? Another cup of coffee, more scrolling, another distraction to hide in. But somewhere inside, we know that's not the fix. Now picture that same foggy state, except this time, you've just gone for a brisk 20-minute walk or done a quick set of stretches or a short run. As your breathing quickens and your heartbeat rises, you can actually feel the fog start to lift. Your emotions begin to reset one piece at a time. This isn't some trick. It's the deep, primal link between body and brain. When the body moves, the brain wakes up. Most people assume exercise is only for the muscles, but really it's fuel for the mind. Every time you break a sweat, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, the same ones responsible for happiness, drive, and focus. And it's not just a quick fix. Regular movement actually reshapes your brain's architecture, strengthening the neural pathways tied to focus, memory, and creativity. You've probably experienced this. When you're stuck on an idea or a problem, walking while thinking works far better than sitting still. Movement in the body creates rhythm in the brain, and that rhythm organizes your thinking. But modern living has made us dangerously still. Chair, couch, car seat, bed, repeat, day after day. And slowly the natural energy that once defined us starts to fade away. Exercise doesn't require a gym membership. It means giving your brain oxygen, letting your emotions flow, and stirring your body just enough that your mind switches on naturally. Tell yourself, I'll walk for just 10 minutes, and those 10 minutes can lead you somewhere where clarity, confidence, and calm become your default. Movement is the key that unlocks productivity. And the best part is you're carrying that key with you at all times. You just have to use it. So the next time your brain feels sluggish, your motivation vanishes, or a task feels impossibly heavy, ask yourself, do I need to keep sitting, or do I need to get up and move? Sometimes one small step can shift everything. Rule 3, give one task your full attention. Have you ever caught yourself juggling 5 things at once? Phone in one hand, typing with the other, an old conversation looping in your head, a video playing in the background, your brain constantly reminding you of everything still left to do. Then, at the end of the day, when things finally slow down, one question surfaces. What did I actually accomplish today? And the honest answer is often, I attempted a lot, but finished almost nothing. That's the illusion multitasking sells you. It feels productive, but in reality, your brain is hopping between tasks every few seconds. And with each jump, a little more of your energy leaks out. Focus isn't a nice to have, it's a genuine superpower. Every person who's achieved real success has mastered this skill. Because when your mind locks fully onto one task, your brain waves function like a laser, precise, deep, and powerful. You drop into a zone where creativity flows freely, clarity sharpens, and time seems to disappear. But the world around us keeps yanking us away from that focus. Every ping, every alert, every buzz pulls you out of your own thoughts. Slowly, your brain gets hooked on shallow thinking, short clips, short thoughts, short attention spans, and eventually, short-lived success. Now imagine a day where you gave one single task your complete attention, fully present, no distractions, no unnecessary switching. Just you and that one thing, locked in. What would the quality of that work look like? How would it feel to finish it and finally look up? That's the power of deep work, where a task isn't just something you handle, but something you fully immerse yourself in. Reclaiming your focus isn't out of reach, but it does take a deliberate choice. You have to train your brain to understand that not everything demands attention right now. And when you start doing this, your mind will push back, boredom will creep in, cravings for distraction will spike. But if you can hold steady through that discomfort, you'll find yourself somewhere new, a place where your mind is calm and your actions carry real power. From there, you can accomplish far more meaningful work in far less time. That's what true productivity looks like. Not loud and scattered, but quiet and centered. So next time you're working on something, ask yourself, am I actually present in this moment? If the answer is no, stop. Take one deep breath and fully return to that single task. Because full focus on one thing is where extraordinary results begin. Rule 4, take charge of stress before it takes charge of you. Sometimes we're sitting perfectly still on the outside while a storm rages within. Breathing speeds up, the heart feels uneasy, and the mind spirals into some vague, nameless fear. There's no obvious trigger, yet everything feels like it's about to fall apart. That's stress, invisible to everyone around you, but quietly eating away at you from within. The most dangerous part about stress is how quietly it settles in. We get used to carrying it. We brush it off as normal pressure or just a busy phase or my head's a bit off today. But the truth is, stress is never actually quiet. Day after day, it slows your thinking, chips away at your focus, and injects fear into your decisions. Picture yourself working on something. On the surface, everything seems fine, but underneath, anxiety is pressing down on you. You're criticizing every small slip, overanalyzing each step, and tying every outcome to failure. What would the quality of that work be? How exhausting would that process feel? Stress quietly drains productivity from the inside out, and it's not limited to the mind. Your body feels it too. Sleep suffers, energy dips, and eventually exhaustion becomes your new normal. But that doesn't mean stress is unavoidable. Stress isn't the enemy. It's a warning signal. It's telling you something has slipped out of balance. And the moment you learn to actually listen to that signal, you shift from ignoring stress to managing it. The first move is simple. Pause. When you feel that restlessness building inside, stop whatever you're doing. No phone, no conversation. Just come back to yourself. Take a slow breath and ask your mind honestly, what do you actually need right now? Sometimes it's space. Sometimes it's clarity. Sometimes it's simply the reassurance that you're not carrying this alone. Another powerful antidote to stress is motion. When the body moves, emotions start moving too. Go for a walk, stretch a little, or just step outside for a few minutes. Your mind will naturally begin to settle. And just as important, recalibrate your expectations. We demand perfection from ourselves, rush through everything, and end up crushed under our own pressure. But remember, you're not a machine. You're human with emotions, with limits, and most importantly, with the ability to heal. Managing stress means giving your mind the respect it's owed, listening to it, understanding it, and working alongside it instead of against it. Because if you don't put a stop to stress, eventually stress will put a stop to you. So here's the real question. Will you keep drifting toward burnout, or will you take one small step today toward healing? The choice and your peace of mind belongs entirely to you. Rule 5. Repetition builds memory. Have you ever noticed that you hear certain things repeatedly, but the moment you actually need them, they vanish from your mind? Maybe you read something powerful, jotted down an inspiring line, or learned a new concept, but when it came time to apply it, your mind drew a total blank. We often blame this on having a bad memory, but that's not really it. The truth is your brain doesn't lock in information after just one exposure. It strengthens it through repetition. Think of your brain like a muscle. One trip to the gym won't build strength. Similarly, reading something once won't make it stick. Real retention comes from repeated exposure. When you revisit an idea again and again, it stops being just information floating around. It becomes woven into your mind. That's exactly why song lyrics you never even tried to memorize somehow stay stuck in your head, because you heard them over and over, felt them, absorbed them without effort. Now imagine applying that same principle to your goals, your learning, your core values. Couldn't you make all of it a permanent part of who you are? But here's the real issue in modern life. We consume something new every single day, yet we rarely revisit it. We chase inspiration, but we never actually absorb it. You hear a powerful idea, feel a spark for a moment, then swipe straight to the next piece of content. That's why we stay inspired constantly, yet rarely transform. Repetition isn't dull. It's simply the language your brain understands. When you repeat an idea to yourself, read it twice a day, write it down by hand, your brain starts treating it as important. And that's precisely what shapes your habits, guides your decisions, and determines your results. If you want to master a skill, shift an emotion, or build a new mindset, start repeating it daily. It'll feel unfamiliar at first and your mind will resist. But gradually, these new thoughts will settle into your subconscious, and you'll notice yourself thinking with more clarity, deciding with more confidence, and growing at a faster pace. Repetition converts knowledge into memory and memory into action. So the next time a powerful idea moves you, don't let it slip away. Hold on to it, repeat it, absorb it, because whatever occupies your thoughts repeatedly eventually becomes part of who you are. Rule 6, images stick where words fade. Have you ever read a sentence in a book that made complete sense in the moment, only to forget it days later? Yet a single image once stopped you owned without a single word attached? That's the true power of visuals. Our brains process images faster than text, connect with them more deeply, and hold on to them far longer. When you look at an image, your brain absorbs the whole thing instantly. Color, feeling, meaning, all at once. Reading requires effort. Your brain has to decode meaning piece by piece. But visuals bypass all that and go straight to your heart and mind. Now imagine you need to grasp a new concept. You have two options: read through a dense paragraph or glance at an infographic explaining the same idea through color and shape. Most people instinctively pick the second. Why am I in? Because it's quicker, clearer, and naturally more captivating. When learning incorporates visuals, it stops feeling like a chore. It becomes an experience. That's precisely why children's books are packed with illustrations. But somewhere along the way to adulthood, we abandon that approach and learning starts to feel like a grind. Now consider this. If you want to boost your productivity, master a new skill, or lock in an important idea, why not weave visuals into your thinking process? Mind maps, diagrams, color-coded notes, quick sketches. All of these keep your brain actively engaged. You're no longer relying on logic alone. You're tapping into imagination too. And that imagination fuels your thinking to a whole new level. Visuals bring clarity, like fog suddenly lifting to reveal a clear path ahead. When you turn a goal into an image and place it somewhere you'll see daily, it stops being just a distant dream. It transforms into a visual pull that inspires you and reminds you constantly why you began. Visuals aren't just observed, they're felt. And what we truly feel, we rarely forget. So if you want your thoughts organized, your ideas remembered, and your mind feeling sharp every day, make visuals your constant companion alongside text. Because in a world where everyone's racing to consume information, the ones who pull ahead are the ones who learn to see it, not just read it. The choice is yours now. Do you want to simply read everything, or do you want to see it, feel it, and let it become part of your life? Rule 7, emotion fuels action. Whether we like to admit it or not, our choices, our goals, our productivity, none of it runs purely on logic. It runs on emotion. You've probably experienced this firsthand. When your heart is genuinely invested in something, you can pour endless hours into it without ever feeling drained. But when your heart isn't in it, even a small task feels like a mountain. You keep pushing it off, and every passing minute feels unbearably heavy. Sometimes we try to force ourselves. Stay disciplined, stop wasting time, don't be lazy. Yet motivation still slips away. Why? Because logic is present, but emotion is absent. Emotion is the invisible spark capable of igniting any action. Without an emotional connection to a goal, it becomes just another checkbox, something to complete, not something to genuinely live for. Think about it. When a mother stays awake all night caring for her child, when a soldier puts their life on the line for their country, when an artist pours months into a single piece of art, is that just routine? No, there's real emotion behind it, a deep personal drive. Emotion awakens the dormant energy inside you. The moment a task shifts from feeling obligatory to feeling personal, a different kind of fire ignites within you, and that fire makes action nearly unstoppable. The trouble starts when we plan everything purely with logic. I should do this. I need to get there, without ever asking ourselves why we actually want it. Every action needs an emotional anchor, something that genuinely touches you. Because when the heart is engaged, the mind naturally follows. If you want your mind free from constant distraction, if you want to feel genuinely inspired the moment you wake up, start by understanding your work's real connection to your heart. Attach a story to every task. Find the emotion tucked behind every goal, whether it's joy, pain, guilt, pride, or an unfinished dream. Because emotion is the engine that drives the mind forward. And when your brain operates on emotional fuel, your productivity stops feeling mechanical and starts feeling powerful. So next time you're tempted to push a task aside, don't just ask, should I do this or not? Ask instead, what emotion is tied to this? Because when the reason comes straight from the heart, momentum never stops. Rule 8. Your brain needs to rest. Sometimes we expect ourselves to run like machines, nonstop, tireless, moving fast from sunrise to sunset, checking off tasks, hitting every goal, showing peak performance every single day. But the truth is, we aren't machines, we're human. And no matter how sharp our brain is, it has its limits. Have you noticed that after hours of nonstop work, your mind suddenly goes blank? Your body's still sitting there, but your attention has wandered off somewhere else. You stare at the screen, but nothing registers anymore. A kind of exhaustion settles in, not just physical, but mental. That's your brain signaling, I need a moment to breathe. But what do we usually do? We feel guilty. If I stop now, I'm wasting time. So we push harder. Just a bit more, then I'll rest. But in that stretch of a bit more, we end up losing our energy, our focus, and our creativity all at once. Taking a break isn't a sign of weakness. It's how you recharge your productivity. Our brains follow ultradian rhythms, a natural cycle that repeats roughly every 90 to 120 minutes. This means peak focus only lasts so long before your brain needs to reset. Ignore that signal, and you slowly slide from high performance into a drained, low-energy state. But when you give your brain short, well-timed breaks, your mind sharpens right back up. Even brief pauses, 5 or 10 minutes of closing your eyes, taking a short walk, or breathing deeply, hand your brain a quiet kind of power. And that same mind, which had slowed down moments earlier, comes back with double the clarity and speed. Breaks don't slow you down. They're what allow you to bounce back stronger. But this only works when you actually let yourself take them. Friends, if this video resonated with you and you feel these ideas could genuinely reshape your life, make sure to subscribe to the channel. On the Listening Library, we bring you powerful book summaries, motivational stories, and life-changing ideas just like this one every single week. Turn on the bell icon too so you never miss what's coming next. Tell us in the comments which rule hit home the most for you. And if you know someone who needs a fresh start today, share this with them. See you in the next video. Until then, stay tuned to the Listening Library and keep growing.